Summer is in full swing, and as the temperature heats up, there's nothing better than to cool yourself off with a nice cold drink. Now, I never really knew you could do this before, and this is my first time doing it. And I've tried it before, like other people's recipes of this particular drink, but I've never made it before, and I'm about to show you how I did make it using 3 basic ingredients pretty much anyone could get a hold of. And even if you don't have these plants at home, you can still make this. What I'm talking about isn't elderflower cordial, it is rose cordial or rose lemonade, even though there's no lemon. Unless you want to add that to your drink as well, that's your choice. So here is my end product of what I created. It's good, doesn't taste too sweet, and it has that nice balance between the fizzy water, which is but it is nice and refreshing, and you can make it to any concentration you like, so you can really play around with it as well. It is a great party drink, a great drink for the barbecues, a great interesting drink for celebrations like baby showers. In this version there is no alcohol, so it is a great alternative to Bucks Fizz. So without further ado, let me show you how I made this drink. First things first, go out in the garden and find yourself a lovely rose. If you don't have a garden, see if your friends do have one, or if your workplace has a garden, you can ask if you can take any rose heads from there. They must be scented roses though, and you kind of want them fully out like this, because then the scent is probably more developed than if they're really enclosed. If you're in the UK, watch out for the little green spiders, because they're kind of vicious and they do bite, and they love scented plants for some reason, and strawberries and raspberries. Anyway, once you've gathered the roses, you're going to put them in some water just to try and get any little bugs out of them as possible. Leave them in there to soak for a little bit. Some people say about half an hour does the trick, and by then all the bugs have kind of crawled out. You can put some salt in there as well to really make them want to leave, bring them to the surface. Thunderbugs really love scented flowers, so you're probably going to find a few of those in there, but it's not to worry if they do go through the whole process. That's just a bit of extra protein. While they're soaking, pour 300 ml of water into a pan and measure out 300 grams of brown sugar. Put it on a low warm heat. You don't want the water sugar mixture to boil, because it gets very hot very quickly and it can splat out and it can really cause some damage. Also, you don't really want to burn the sugar. This bit is quite a long process, this section, but it's really important to get the right consistency, so you've got to continue to stir it so that it all mixes in nicely. Then add your rose heads to the pan and stir in. The water should be around simmering at this point, just below around simmering. Keep it on a lower heat so that it doesn't come right to the boil. In the bowl there you can see the aphid, thrips, we've got some thunderbugs in there as well that have come off the rose head, so that soak is quite important if you want relatively clean plants. Now if you want your mixture to have like a certain colour to it, this is the time to add in some food colouring to the mix. Make sure you're adding water-based food colouring, otherwise it's going to separate. The more flower heads you add, the stronger the scent will be. The fragrance or flavour also will depend on the strength of fragrance from the variety you select. There are varieties of roses specially grown for their scent, so if you're planning on doing this next year or the year after, you could go visit your garden centre and ask for really strongly scented roses and get them planted up now. Once the consistency is kind of like a syrup, you're going to want to fish out the roses, sieve them so you get all the petals and the bits of plant out. If you find that it's not actually that scented and you can't really smell the flavour from the roses, then you can always add in some rose extract to your mix, which is what I'm doing here because I have very, very few rose heads. And it's that easy. You've made the syrup. So all you need to do now is add in your sparkling water or your lemonade to the mixture, and you'll have your rose lemonade / rose cordial. You can boil it down even further so it runs a bit more like golden syrup, and that should last longer as well. Because of the amount of sugar that's in this mixture, it actually does last a long time. If you put it in a sealed container in the fridge, you can enjoy it all throughout summer. For legal reasons, I'm not going to say how long you should or should not keep it in the fridge for. That's up to you. But I know this lasted about 2 months and then it was all gone because we just drank it all. What's great is you can do large batches of this at once and have a load in the fridge to keep you going throughout the summer. And this is great for birthdays and parties. It's just a really nice summery, more unusual drink that you can say you grew in the garden. If you're making this for an event, just top it off with some fresh rose petals and you're done. It is good. It is good. Not quite as sweet as I was expecting, considering we used so much sugar to water ratio, like it was 1:1. But yeah, it's really, really, really nice and refreshing. And the aroma that you get from it, obviously I only used 2, maybe 3 flowers in the mix that I did. And make sure you do the saline trick at the beginning to try and get the little wrigglers away. Especially if you're bringing the plants into your house, you don't want thrips and that deciding to munch on your own plants as well. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. If you try it, let me know. If you make a few changes, let me know. If you have a better recipe than the one that I just showed you, also let me know in the comments down below, and have a good rest of your summer. I'll see you in the next video, and why not check out the video that's on the screen now.